grading.
The final push.
Yes.
Kind of where I was at.
That's right.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the April 24th meeting of the Ames Community School District Board of Directors. I will call the meeting to order and entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Becker, seconded by Winfrey. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Passes 6-0. And we will now read our purpose statement and would invite anyone in the room who would like to join us in reading it. The Ames Community School District commits to equity and access that empowers every individual to reach their full personal and educational potential. Thank you. And we will begin this evening with our public hearing on the 2023-24 proposed budget. So if you desire to speak on the 2023-24 proposed budget, you are welcome to come up to the microphone. And we just ask that you state your name and address, or if you're a student, your name and school. Okay, I will go ahead and close the public hearing and we'll move on to our recognitions and celebrations. First, this evening, we are recognizing Keen Roberts for receiving the Iowa Academy of Sciences Excellence in Science Teaching Award. And I will turn it over to Amy DeLashman.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Well, tonight we want to offer our congratulations to 9th grade Earth and Science teacher at Ames High School, Keen Roberts, who is a 2023 recipient of an Excellence in Science Teaching Award from the Iowa Academy of Science. The Iowa Academy of Science promotes science research, science education, the public understanding of science, and recognizing excellence in these endeavors. Prior to his current role at Ames High School, he taught 8th grade science at Ames Middle School. We had the pleasure of talking to Roberts about this award, and he said, on one hand, I feel personally validated with my instruction and the experiences that I am getting students to engage in. But on the other hand, I have to acknowledge all of the other teachers that came before me and have worked with me to help me reach this level. In that same vein, this award is a silent recognition to all those who have supported me and helped me become the teacher I am today. Some of you might remember Robert's work with Mr. Reichert for the What's in Your Watershed exhibition from November of 2022. Roberts is an Ames High graduate from the class of 2012. Your commitment to our students, families, and community is inspiring. And if you'll stand up so that we can recognize you. Congratulations to Mr. Roberts on this wonderful recognition.
And our next recognition is for the Iowa School Public Relations Association Awards.
Just a little bit awkward. So the Iowa School Public Relations Association, or ISPRA, held its annual spring conference on April 13th and 14th, 2023. As a local chapter of the National School Public Relations Association, ISPRA is the organization of school public relations professionals, superintendents, and leaders interested in fostering understanding and support for education in Iowa. In conjunction with the conference, a communication awards ceremony was also held. The Ames Community School District submitted 13 projects in 8 of the 22 competition categories that included advertising, excellence in writing, and photography, and many more. In total, 135 submissions were received from 19 districts across the state, and all submissions were scored by state chapters in Arizona, Wisconsin, California, and we have Wisconsin twice. They're especially important. The Ames Community School District won 1 Blue and Gold Award this year as best in the state in the category of photography for a photo of the Big Fish rehearsal at Ames High School. Since 2018, the Ames Community School District has earned 9 Blue and Gold Awards in a variety of communication categories. And you can view all of the items that were submitted on our website, as well as we posted an article about Mr. Roberts' work today. You can see that on our website as well. And I want to acknowledge our communications specialist who's here, Jared Larson. Jared, if you want to stand. Jared is also an alumni of Ames High School. So it's great to have multiple people in the crowd tonight as alumni of Ames High that we're recognizing. Thank you.
And we want to make sure that we also recognize Director Amy DeLashman for all of her work in leading our communication efforts. So let's give her a round of applause as well. Well, and thank you to our communications team and Mr. Roberts for joining us tonight. We're always thrilled when we can start out with a fun celebration for the evening. And just thanks for taking the time to be with us and for all your work for our district. We appreciate it. All right. We will go ahead and move on to our discussion items. And our first discussion item this evening is our board committee update, beginning with the facilities committee.
We met on the 12th, and just a couple of things. Everything's pretty much in the minutes, but a couple of things that I will highlight. They're down to between 500 and 1,000 items on the punch list, so they're getting there. They've come a long way, so they're continuing, and it's you know, they've been able to benefit from spring break and the professional development days and such. The other thing, there was a report about the swimming pool bulkhead, and we will be coming back. Councilman Hunziker will be coming back, I believe, at the next meeting to come and talk to us all about what they're working through there. The purchase of the LSI property, 2 of the buildings will be demolished, but the goal is to be able to utilize the buildings this fall, those that are not being demolished. And so Jerry's working really hard to put together a scope and sequence on that to see what they can pull together for useful space for this fall, and then beyond that. And then the last thing I would just highlight, Jerry gave us a report during the meeting on staffing, and I think it's important for everybody to understand that in our custodial area, we're at 68% capacity, and maintenance, we're at 50% capacity. So for those of you that are in the buildings every day, we understand that it's just a difficult time to find staff, and we are finding that in our maintenance and custodial area within facilities. So thank you, Jerry, for all the things you're doing to try to make up for some holes in our staffing. So any questions?
All right, thank you. And next we have policy committee.
We met on April 13th, and we are working our way through a lot more updates. We'll talk about some specifics. There are a few policies in the minutes that we've held. We had some questions or wanted to explore further, and then I'll talk about the rest when we get to policies for discussion.
Thank you. Questions or comments right now? Okay, teaching and learning.
We met on the 17th and had some good presentations on curriculum and some other items of learning. They're all included there in the minutes with some good graphics and illustrations. So take a look at those.
Thank you. Questions or comments for teaching and learning? Okay, and then our School Improvement Advisory Committee, SIAC, met just last Monday. Do you want to give the update, or do you want me to give the update? Okay, okay, all right. So we kind of did the 2 primary things that SIAC typically does at this time of year, which was to take a look at our bullying data and then review the panorama data, which we had looked at as a board previously. So we had some really good discussion, really good questions about that, feedback and thoughts for things to talk about in the future as we look at these things too. Okay. Any questions about SIAC? All right, then we will move on to our policies for discussion.
This one's pretty easy. There are quite a few that we are rescinding. Those are policies that are either redundant and covered elsewhere or more appropriately handled in administrative rules. And then there are a few that are updated, and those are largely updates with format, headers, that sort of thing. And then I think the only one that had just a couple kind of wordsmithing things that we worked on with Jerry. So that's it. Any comments or questions about anything in particular?
All right, then we don't have anybody signed up to speak under discussion items. Let me check the Zoom one quickly. I know. I believe the one that we have is a public forum. So we will go ahead and move on to our public forum, and I will read our statement on public comments. Residents of the district, students attending the district, parents or guardians of students attending the district, and district staff members may address the board about any topic relevant to the district, whether on the current agenda or not. Those who wish to speak must sign up at the beginning of the meeting. Speaker participation is limited to 3 minutes once per item. The views and opinions of citizens addressing the board do not necessarily reflect those of the board, district administration, or staff. Speakers are to remember that Iowa law prohibits the board from discussing specific employees, students, or their performance. Student speakers will state their name and school. Others will state their name and address. And we'll begin with Richard Diaz.
Richard Diaz, 505 East Street, apartment 2. I have a bunch of buttons that I want to make an assignment for the students of Ames High and the junior high. And I don't have enough to be able to give to the people in elementary school. I also want the teachers to be able to give the assignment. My buttons say, "Good morning and I love you. I wonder how you're doing." And good night, I always care. It's kind of like from the song. I have some that I don't know whether you want them or can have them. I know I've taken them to merit some previous buttons I've taken to the hospital board to give to all the employees, and they say it violates the HIPAA laws. And it's like, I mean, I don't know, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, but it's like, I have enough to be able to, I mean, if you want one,
Thank you.
I have one. Yeah, I didn't know. Well, it's like, it is more. I have, I brought a whole bunch of them in my bag. I want to be able to assign to the students and also want to assign to the teachers. You know, it's like I think they have as much to say about the world being home as anybody else. I know for myself, it's like I want to talk about myself. I'm only allowed 3 minutes to be up here, and I can't do that. I want to be able to, I don't know. I was at, and I was to spend the day with people, sunrise to sunset, so I can get to know them. They can get to know me, the people of the world, a better place one day at a time. The first person I asked that to was a police officer who was going to arrest me for handing out some of my writings in front of the post office. He talked to me for about an hour and a half, and he said he had more official business to do with the city. But it's like the previous week, he was telling me such lines as, like, I have to stand on this side of the crack in the sidewalk and not that side of that crack in the sidewalk. Now, if I look at people's eyes, they'll charge me with interfering with official acts, some sort of crime. To look into people's eyes, I don't know. You know, and it's like, you know, I want to, I don't know, it's like, would you like to have these buttons say, have 2,000 small ones and 2,000 big ones, I've been giving them away. I don't know how many I have left. I know I have more in my apartment, it's in my bag, I have the least. But it's like, I figure if you guys couldn't take them or wouldn't take them, it's like, I need someone to transport them here. I don't have a car. I walked through the morning to check this spot and I never learned to drive it. So riding and driving to the meeting, like I don't have a ride going home in the second flight. I mean, it's like I collapsed when I was going to audition for the senior variety show. Walking in the my knee, it's like I'm not physically able to do things. And I don't know. I'm very, I mean, I don't know how to do it. I do the best that I can. I mean, I want to listen to everybody. You know, you can tell somebody that, I mean.
Richard, if you'd like to leave them, we could have folks be able to take them as they leave. If you want to just set them out on the table. If you want to set the buttons out on the table and folks would like to take them as they leave, they'd be able to do that.
I'm gonna say I have a bunch of my backpack I'm getting the bag too.
Yeah. That's probably enough for who's here today.
I mean, it's like I have most of the small ones in that bag. Only having these big ones, they weigh a ton and a half.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, yes, thank you. We do need to move on to the next person, but thank you. Thank you. Alan Doherty.
Good evening.
So
I'm sorry, could I just remind you to say your name and address for me? Yep, no problem.
Alan Doherty, 1615 Jackson, also named Thailand a long time ago. Anyway, my question tonight was concerning the loaded guns.
Sorry.
I didn't. Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I didn't find out about it until my email with Dr. Larson's letter. But as far as security issues, what goes on in the US and all the schools now, everything else, I wanted to see if there's any other safety precautionary measures going into place or taken into consideration this process. It's extremely upsetting to see that. And my daughter's in fellows right now, but just the fact that anybody's safety is number one. So that's what I want to see. Is there any discussion or consideration of other measures?
Thank you. Thank you. And just in case it is your first board meeting, we're not able to respond during the meeting, but we will follow up with you after the meeting. Okay.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Was that gonna happen with me too?
We can follow up with you as well. Yep. Are you going to stay through the whole meeting?
I can say for the whole thing.
Okay. I can chat with you after. Okay. Okay.
I go to city council meetings, or I'll speak at the meeting. I've been speaking in council comments and the mayor wants me to do that.
Yeah. All right. Ulrich Genschel.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ulrike Genschel. I live on 3205 Granite Box Road. I have two boys in the school district, one at Kate Mitchell, one in the middle school. One at Kate Mitchell, one in the middle school. No?
Great.
All right. You want me to repeat?
No, you're fine.
Okay. All right. So I am talking to you tonight here because over the course of this afternoon, we found out as parents or PTA and staff that there is potentially a proposed cut of 3.7 in school teachers at Kate Mitchell next year, especially or specifically the teachers regarding the specials. Mrs. Teskey, for example, one of them, she's the art teacher. And we are incredibly concerned about this. This school has the highest proportion of students with low socioeconomic status. It has the highest proportion of students with that are African American, highest proportion of Hispanic students in our school district. And the importance of these teachers in our school cannot be overstressed. These teachers are needed to make really much needed everyday connections with those students. Especially art, I think, is incredibly important because it allows students to express themselves. The school, as my understanding, has had a setup like this similarly before many years ago, and it did not really go over very well. The students suffered the most, but it also was really a burden on the teachers who we will get one teacher from some other school coming to Kate Mitchell for one day. That teacher does not get integrated in the school. That teacher does not get a chance to connect with students, go the extra mile that we so desperately need. We have beautifully decorated hallways with the art that is happening in Ms. Teskey's classroom. And to see Ms. Teskey and the other teachers lost, it's just something that we feel as the school, who is already probably most disadvantaged from a socioeconomic status, would be really detrimental. We cannot have the same fundraising that other elementary schools have based on our population. That does not then allow us to offer the same field trips that other elementary schools are to offer. So I'm speaking on behalf of the students at Kate Mitchell, staff at Kate Mitchell, the teachers at Kate Mitchell, the PTA at Kate Mitchell, and the parents. Thank you.
Thank you, Ulrike. Okay, and it looks like we do have one person signed up on Zoom. Because there's not an address listed, I just want to remind you that it does need to be an Ames, or an Ames student or parent. So if you can please state your name and address when you begin. Ben Jacobs. Oh, it looks like not there anymore. Okay, all right. Okay, then we will go ahead and close our public forum, and I'll move on to our consent agenda and entertain a motion.
I move approval as presented.
Second.
Moved by Beerbaum, was that Winfrey? Yeah. Moved by Beerbaum, seconded by Winfrey. Superintendent Lawson, gifts to the district.
Yes, thank you. The superintendent's office received a complete form for and recommends acceptance of the following gifts. From Ron and Diana Nelson, $50 cash for the benefit of the Hope Pantry, and $20 cash from Mary Beth Rochelle of the Iowa Natural Wellness Center, also for the benefit of the Hope Pantry for the event.
Thank you. It was moved by Beerbaum, seconded by Winfrey to accept the consent items. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes 6-0. Moving on to our action items. Our first item this evening is our master contract between the Ames Education Association and Board of Education for July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2026.
I move the board approve the 2023-26 master contract between Ames Education Association and the Ames Board of Education.
Second.
Moved by Beerbaum, seconded by Franzen. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes 6-0. The 2023-24 proposed budget.
I move the board adopt the 2023-24 budget as presented.
Second.
Moved by Beerbaum, seconded by Becker. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes 6-0. New Ames High School construction project change orders.
I move the board approve the change orders for the New Ames High School construction project as presented. Second.
Moved by Franzen, seconded by Winfrey. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Passes 6-0. New Ames High School construction project final acceptance and completion of bid packages 05-1, 09-5, and 14-1.
I move the board approve the final acceptance of the work for bid packages 05-1, 09-5, and 14-1.
Second.
Moved by Beerbaum, seconded by Franson. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Passes 6-0. New Ames High School Construction Project, final acceptance and completion of bid package 13-1.
I move the board approve the final acceptance of the work for bid package 13-1 swimming pool and equipment associated pool builders incorporated.
Second.
Moved by Franson, seconded by Beerbaum. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Passes 6-0. Student representative, board, and staff items. Will begin this evening with items from our student representatives.
Is this working?
Yep.
Okay. I just had a couple things that I wanted to mention. So the first thing is kind of brought up in the public forum of just communication with students. Students don't get the emails from the school district every time there's something that changes like during school. So like the most important thing would be like when there's a schedule change. So if we get like an early release or a late start or something, students don't get emailed that. It only goes to parents. And it becomes an issue because a lot of upperclassmen obviously have open campus. So if they're at home, like during their open period, they don't know when to come back to school because they have to rely on their parents to get that message. So I think that would be a very helpful fix for the high schoolers. Another thing is just as the school year ends and there's a lot of teachers in our school that are retiring or leaving their teaching positions. A lot of students have obviously like expressed their, I guess, frustration with like the teaching in schools with certain classes and just in general of having inadequate teaching for classes where I feel like we deserve better, especially in AP courses where there's a lot of teachers that are behind on their curriculum and we're expected to compete on a national level with other students who are in the same class. And because of very prevalent issues that other faculty also addresses and sees that is occurring, we are like behind on a lot of things and it's a disadvantage for a lot of us. And just in general with teachers not keeping up to the standards that they promise with curriculum, grades, like having grades on time, teaching the things that they're supposed to teach in class. There's a lot of issues that teachers or students have expressed to other faculty, parents, and everyone, and things often don't change with that. And I know that's a lot of the stuff that's happening with the, what's it called? The
strategic plan.
Yeah, strategic planning. I know that's a lot of what's going on in there, but I just wanted to make that known to the public as well, that a lot of students are feeling very frustrated with that situation. So you want to add?
Thank you. Will, do you have anything to add? No? Okay. Thank you. Items from the board. I did not know any requests for staff this evening. Are there other items from the board? Okay. Items from the superintendent?
So I don't have any items. I just want to make sure that I follow up with Will and Ratika. So really quickly, we shouldn't necessarily have to wait on the development of a strategic plan for high quality instruction. So I just like to check in a little bit more about that.
Thank you. Next is our board planning calendar. We are winding down towards the end of the year here. Our next meeting will be May 8th with a work session. Any comments or questions on the board planning calendar? Okay.
The actions 10 and 11 are not necessary.
Okay. So then we will move on to our closed session for student discipline matter.
You ready? I move the board go into closed session as provided by section 21.51A and 21.51E of the Open Meetings Law to review or discuss records which are required or authorized by state or federal law to be kept confidential or to be kept confidential as a condition for that governmental body's possession or continued receipt of federal funds, and discuss whether to conduct a hearing or to conduct hearings to suspend or expel a student unless an open session is requested by the student or parent or guardian of the student if the student is a minor.
Second. Moved by Franzen, seconded by Winfrey, and roll call vote.
Director Shields Cook.
Aye.
Director Smith.
Aye.
Director Winfrey.
Aye.
Director Franson.
Aye.
Director Beerbaum.
Aye.
Director Becker.
Aye.
Passes 6-0. And we will return, following the closed session for action. But we will be in closed session at this time. Okay, and our next agenda item, we even have the agenda, will be action on student discipline matter.
I move that student A be expelled from the Ames Community School District for the period of 1 calendar year, the maximum length allowed by the Iowa Department of Education. Student A is not allowed to be on any Ames School District property or attend any school events, home or away. To be considered for readmittance, student A must not violate any conditions of the expulsion and may not have any further criminal charges or convictions during the expulsion. Student A must make a formal request and appear before the school board to be considered for readmittance.
Second.
Moved by Franzen, seconded by Becker. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Passes 6-0.
I move we adjourn.
Second. Moved by Beerbaum, seconded by Winfrey. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Passes 6-0.